Hello and welcome to this session of Ready for Pre-K, focused on preparing for a smooth transition into school. If you are joining us, you probably have a little one at home who will be starting Pre-K 3 at DC Public Schools this year. Our goal today is to provide you with some information about children's experiences in our Pre-K program and ways that you can help prepare your child for school. During our time together, we will talk about getting ready for Pre-K at DCPS, explore the components of the Pre-K day, and share some strategies to help children feel more prepared for Pre-K. For many children and families, starting Pre-K can feel overwhelming. Whether you have done this before with an older child, or if this is your first time sending your child to school, starting Pre-K can bring up a range of questions and emotions for parents and caregivers. Maybe you are nervous, relieved, anxious, or excited. Our goal is that by the end of tonight's session, you feel prepared and confident for this big transition. Before we jump into the details of the daily schedule, let's start with some tips for introducing the idea of starting school to your child and some helpful strategies that can support them in understanding what going to Pre-K means. We know that some children may be very familiar with the idea of school, especially if they have older siblings, while others may not understand what Pre-K is yet, and that is okay. Here are some tips and strategies you can use when preparing your child to transition to Pre-K. Show them pictures of the front of the building, drive by, or visit the playground on the weekend. Over the summer, this could be a great activity to do with your child to help acclimate them to their new school. Many of our playgrounds are open to the public on the weekends or in the evenings. Call your school to see when the playground is open for a visit. Attend a play date. Many schools will offer opportunities throughout the summer for families to come for a play date at the school. This is a great opportunity to meet classmates and maybe some staff members from the school as well. Talk with your child about what will be the same and what will be different. For example, something that is the same is that your new school will have a playground and grown-ups to help take care of you, just like you have at Miss Mary's house. One thing that is different is that there will be more children and you will have new teachers. Or just like now, I will say goodbye to you in the morning and come back to pick you up at the end of the day. Something that is new will be that we will walk home instead of driving home. Take pictures of your visit to the building so that they can look at them again. They may even feel excited to share pictures of their new school with friends or loved ones. Note that the first day of school for Pre-K children is on Thursday, August 28th. We refer to this delayed start as Transition Week. This gives teachers the opportunity to spend a few days inviting children to visit the classroom, maybe meeting families in person or virtually, and allows a shortened week for students. Now let's take a look at the different components of the Pre-K daily schedule. Here you'll get a sense of what the daily schedule looks like in our Pre-K classrooms. We'll go into more detail about what each of these daily activities typically look like, but all our classrooms have similar components of the day. Most of our programs use the creative curriculum, which centers on studies or project-based learning experiences. Our Pre-K classrooms also incorporate the Building Blocks math curriculum, which is a fun way to weave early math into play during small groups or center time. You'll notice the term specials on the daily schedule, and that refers to special classes like music, art, PE, and library. Each school offers different special subject classes. With the exception of PE, all special subject classes take place inside the Pre-K classroom to eliminate transitions. Each school's daily schedule will differ a bit depending on their special schedule, playground schedule, etc., but most programs will follow something like this. The first part of the day is arrival. This is a time of day that we get a lot of questions about, and understandably so. Parents and children really want to know what to expect during this transition. Typically, pre-K children arrive at school between 8:15 and 8:45 depending on the program, and if they attend before care. An adult needs to accompany the child all the way to the classroom, so this may mean that you as a parent or caregiver walk to the classroom with your child, or at some schools, parents meet school staff at a designated entrance, and then that person walks them to the classroom. Once children get to the classroom, they put their belongings away, wash their hands, and then they have the choice to eat breakfast or play while others arrive. Let's talk about a few ways you can help prepare your child to feel more comfortable and prepared for those first few arrivals at school. A few tears are to be expected, but our teachers are more than ready to comfort upset children, and maybe a few parents too. Here are some ways that we can help the school feel a bit more familiar before that first day. Most of our schools will be offering play dates at the school over the summer so that children, families, and teachers can meet before the start of the school year. Check out your school's website for specifics. Having a chance to meet their teacher in advance can go a long way in helping children feel more comfortable on the first day. It's always reassuring to see a familiar face. Family visits. Many of our programs offer family visits prior to the start of school. This can be done virtually or in person or at a public location, like a playground or library. This is a relaxed opportunity to interact with your child's teacher one-on-one and get to know each other. Family visits are a great time for your child to meet their teacher and for you to share some information about your child, what they like, ways to comfort them when they're upset, etc. And lastly, as the first day of school approaches, practice your daily routine and think about creating a special goodbye ritual with your child that you will do each day when they go to school. Having a plan for this transition is really important for both parent and child. This might be a special thing you say, such as, "See you later, alligator," "After a while, crocodile," or "a hug and a high five," etc. Practice this ritual in advance and remind your child, "You'll stay with your teachers and I'll wave goodbye. But don't worry, I'll be back at the end of the day, and you can tell me all about what you did at school." What happens during morning meeting? After the children have arrived and eaten breakfast, the day typically starts with morning meeting, sometimes called opening group or circle time. This is a time where children and teachers greet each other, review the plans for the day, and engage in community building activities with the whole class. What happens during center time? Our pre-K classrooms are carefully designed to support active, hands-on play and learning. Each pre-K classroom includes a variety of learning centers, such as the ones listed on this slide. Each day, children are able to choose which center they would like to play in, and in those centers, they direct their own play and learning. The teacher and assistant teacher engage and play with them in the centers, asking questions and incorporating learning into the play. Teachers are frequently adding new materials to the centers to provide children with new experiences and to keep them interested and engaged. Frequently, teachers lead small group lessons while the other children are working and playing in centers, under the supervision of the assistant teacher. Math instruction in play-based small groups takes place during this time, as well as for other content areas, such as early literacy. Small groups give children the opportunity to practice and hone specific skills they might be working on. For example, a teacher might pull a group of 3 children who are all working on recognizing the same letters of the alphabet or who were absent for a lesson taught the day before. Once they are done, children return to play in centers. What happens during mealtimes? Mealtimes tend to be another time of day that parents and caregivers are particularly curious about. When at school, children engage in what we call family-style meals. This essentially means that the children and adults all sit together and enjoy conversation while eating. Family-style meals encourage children to try new foods and learn healthy eating habits. Our Title I schools provide free breakfast and lunch to all students. Our non-Title I schools offer the opportunity for children to purchase school lunch. Typically, schools post or send home copies of the school lunch menus to families. Alternatives are offered for children with some dietary restrictions. Parents can fill out a dietary restriction form at the school. Families are welcome to send food from home for their child if they prefer. All meals prepared by the school are peanut and tree nut free. If other serious allergies are present in the classroom, the teacher will inform families so that they know not to send those items to school. What happens during rest time? Knowing that many 3- and 4-year-olds still nap during the day, we do have a rest time after lunch. Pre-K 3 classrooms allow for 90 minutes of rest, and Pre-K 4 classrooms allow 60 minutes. For children who do not nap, they will be provided quiet activities to do during this time, such as puzzles, coloring materials, books, etc. Pre-K classrooms have either cots or mats for each child that are wiped down with sanitizer after use. You can send a cozy blanket or small pillow for your child to have during this time. Personal items are then placed back in the child's cubby each day and sent home to be washed at the end of the week. What happens during restroom breaks? If your child has not been in a child care program previously, this is probably a topic you are wondering about. We want to start by reminding you that being potty trained is not a requirement to start school. Is it helpful? Of course. But if your child isn't there yet, we'll help you through the process. Talk with your child's teacher about their development to make sure that you have a plan for how you will work together on potty training. If your child is not potty trained, families can send wipes and pull-ups to school. Regardless of whether your child is potty trained or not, it will be important to send a clean change of clothing that they can keep in their cubby, just in case. Most of our classrooms have a restroom in the classroom that children can access freely throughout the day. A few of our schools have hallway restrooms with multiple stalls. These programs tend to take whole class restroom breaks throughout the day. We do expect the adults in the classroom to maintain sight and sound supervision of all children at all times. So classrooms may have a half door or shower curtain up so that an adult can hear if a child needs help when toileting while still allowing children privacy. If children need assistance, teachers and assistant teachers will help them by either talking them through what they need to do and handing them the materials or physically assisting them if the child requires it, especially if the child has physical or developmental delays. Let's take a moment to talk about keeping children safe and healthy at school. We're sure this is front of mind for you all as parents, and it is certainly our top priority as well. As a reminder, there are some important forms you need to fill out prior to the first day of school. These forms can be found on the DCPS enrollment page. The Universal Health Certificate, verifying that your child is up to date on their well-child visits and immunizations. The Oral Health Assessment, which ensures your child has had a recent dental exam. If your child requires medication to be administered throughout the day or has an EpiPen, you'll need to complete the medication and treatment form. Likewise, if your child requires any dietary accommodation, you'll want to be sure that form is completed prior to the first day of school. We recommend that you also share any pertinent information with your child's teacher during your family visit prior to the first day of school. And of course, there is an authorized pickup form to allow your child to be released to anyone other than a primary parent or guardian. A few pre-K specific policies we'd like to highlight are that pre-K children eat breakfast and lunch in the classroom, eliminating an unnecessary transition to the cafeteria, which can sometimes be an overwhelming environment for little ones. Mealtimes in pre-K are a time for children and adults to enjoy socializing and to encourage healthy habits. All special subject classes, with the exception of PE, take place inside the pre-K classroom so that children can remain in a calm and familiar environment and not lose valuable learning time during transitions. And finally, our teachers always maintain sight and sound supervision of children. There are 2 adults supervising children at all times, and teachers use active supervision strategies to ensure children are safe and engaged at all times. We have a ton of free resources available that you can use to support your child's development and learning at home. ReadyForPreK.org is a great resource for families. Click on the Resources tab to access printable tip sheets that have ideas about how you can support your child's learning and development at home. You can also watch Scribbles videos that focus on various skills children are learning in pre-K. DCPS also has a YouTube channel with recordings of past Ready for Pre-K sessions and Parent University sessions that you can access anytime. If you have any questions or concerns about your child's learning and development, Reach out to early stages. You do not need to wait until your child is enrolled to reach out to early stages. They offer free developmental screenings and evaluations to children in DC. Don't worry, you've got this. If you think of anything you'd like to ask or you would like to contact us, please send us an email anytime. Thank you for joining this session, and we can't wait to welcome you to DCPS this fall.